Yo, are you ready for the Astro-Weather week? April 28th, 29th, 30th, and May 1st. Mayo! Taurus, Gemini, a little bit of Cancer moon. Let's talk about it. Grand Rising, good people. It's Eric Taylor, BigEAstro, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, but we'll get out a little bit later today. But this is the Astro-Weather Week report. It's Taurus season. Happy birthday to all the Tauruses out there. Don't forget the Taurus birth chart sale, 206 or 305, Eric at BigEAstrology.com. Natal, solar return, secondary progression. There's a lot going on. We just had this Taurus super new moon yesterday. Hopefully you guys really are, still grounded. The moon is exalted. It's at 20 degrees. The exaltation, the lunar mansion behind it is between 10 and 23 degrees. And when you have the Taurus moon, you can feel very grounded, connected to Gaia Mother Earth. The moon will finish out today at around 26 East Coast, 27. So we'll wake up tomorrow morning with the moon in Gemini for Tuesday, Wednesday, and un poquito Thursday, starting off around 12 noon tomorrow. The 29th should be at about 3, no more than 4 degrees, okay? So, we're going to feel this moon conjunct Uranus today. And there could be a lot of downloads in nature. So I highly recommend, be Dr. Doolittle, whatever, go outside, talk to the animals in the trees, and just really connect to nature. I hope you're really understanding this super new moon is about kind of, moving forward, but, really trying to really find out what is it that you truly value. And have you been opening up your throat chakra to be authentically speaking the truth, connected to your heart chakra and deep into your intuition, coming off that fixed grand cross? Today I'll be live 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, IG live lunch with Eric, talking about the moon through the houses. Okay, not any signs, just the moon through the 12 houses. And this is the moon day. So let's get to the chart and Astro-Weather. Obviously, the whole NFL draft, my Steelers did pretty good. Eagles, Jaguars, Panthers, Bears, Cardinals, Patriots. They all had really good drafts. It's on paper. Giants and Jets are pretty good too. And the whole debacle and the embarrassment, and it was the Atlanta Falcons, defensive coordinator's son who did the prank call. They should fine the Falcons. I hope the NFL does that. It's embarrassing. This has never been done. And the fact that it was from an NFL, franchise, a kid, it's despicable. Prank calling Shador Sanders and what the NFL, it's collusion. It's billionaire, rich white billionaire insecurity and racism. I don't care what you want to try to justify. The kid at worst should have been late first round, maybe early second. Very accurate passer, talented, and did the work himself. He didn't rely on his father like LeBron James getting Bronny into the league when he really didn't deserve it. This kid earned it and is very talented. And I wish him well. They just made a bunch of fans for the Cleveland Browns, and his jersey sales are going to be crazy. Shador Sanders. Still don't like the spelling of that name, Shedor. I don't know. But anywho, I'm really, it's just, he didn't need to be humbled. He's confident. You want your quarterback to be confident. The Mannings did the same. And so it's okay for Archie Manning to do this with Peyton and really with Eli, refusing to go with the Chargers. The hypocrisy. If you don't see it, then you've just got a lot of soul searching to do in your heart. And that's okay, But enough of the sports. It's all about astrology, the Astro-Weather. Let's see what the week is showing. And let's see what happens today in the financial markets and crypto and all that stuff as well with this Taurus moon. Astro-Weather week, BigEAstro. Oh, and we're going to check out Sinners in the next week or two and then do a live about the movie Sinners that's doing pretty well in the box office. I guess opening weekend had 60 million and they tried to, articles trying to pan it, and it did better than Once Upon a Time in America. And Ben Stiller sent out a tweet saying, "How's this bad when they in opening weekend made 60 million, and it's a small budget, all this stuff, but that's just more, haterade and prejudice and racism. So Michael B. Jordan and what's his name? Ryan Coogler. Congrats, and yeah, I want to go check this movie out and see. Oh, excuse me. Allergies. But I did put the honey in the eyes, thanks to Stevie Weezy's. Told you guys last night, really good. And I put it in my nose last night, bringing up a lot of stuff. And just dealing with allergies, all right? Astro-Weather week. Make it happen Monday, April 28th. Wow. Taurus season. Shout out to the Tauruses out there. Got mad love for you. 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. The Jupiter's moving along. It's been at 20 for a couple days. I think we left off Friday at 20 degrees. And this Taurus moon will be conjunct Uranus today. You're going to feel it really more tonight, but it's already in the conjunction. Like I said, we'll finish up around 26, 27 degrees. Should be tomorrow around 3 or 4. It's also going to be in a trine to the Virgo South Node. So there could be some different things coming up around your body, some foods you really need to transmute out and not eat. Definitely connect to nature, some things about, coming up positively about your mom today. So, just stay in gratitude. If your mom's still alive, love on her, appreciate her. Mother's Day is coming up. We're going to try to do something real special for my wife and things like that. And hopefully my mother-in-law, and take them out somewhere cool. Not something basic. They don't want to do anything basic. They want an experience, not just food. So, don't fall into the consumerism and overpay for some restaurant on Mother's Day. Do something unique for your mother. Make them something, take them somewhere, do an experience, okay? We've got to really tap in. I know Taurus risings can be going through it with the Mercury, and over the weekend with the Aries moon, with the dreams. Wifey's been experiencing that. Neptune's at 1 degrees now. So that sextile to Pluto is pretty vibrant. A lot of kind of trying to clear your head and also transform your health. You're seeing a lot of people focused, it is springtime, getting ready for the beach weather, but really focused on their health. I've gotten back to my regular weight routine, try to lift 7 days a week. And Mars, Mars is still trining the Neptune and opposing the Pluto, still at 4 degrees. So I said you may feel it to 26th, 27th. You're going to feel it even probably to the 30th, the Mars-Pluto opposition, okay? Now, obviously, the sun is kind of out of that T-square. It's pulling away. We're at 8 degrees today. You'll see on Wednesday we get into the second decan, the Taurus-Virgo decan. And those people are a little bit more logical, analytical. They can be the more perfectionist type of Taurus folks. But you still got let's check on this Lilith though, right? So Lilith, hello Lily. Lilith was in the part of this fixed square, grand fixed cross, and now the true black moon Lilith, that's still there. So, that Mars, Lilith, Pluto, there's still some explosive news, some judicial lady was arrested and stuff like that. I don't know. There's so much about deportations and this and that. Come to find out, Trump, I'm not going to be a defender, but he's like the 5th ranked of presidents for most deportations. Obama was number 1. So we just have to look at numbers sometimes because the media will always show its bias. I'm not in support of what Trump's doing. I'm not saying that, but you just actually have to look at the numbers. I know Reagan deported a lot, Bush, GW, Clinton and Obama, they were all ahead of Trump. So it is just what it is, you know. Um, I think that, you know, for me personally, if I was given a personal view, some people need to come here legally, but I'm also like, come on, this is all God's land. So it's just hard if there's criminals and stuff like that. I'm not thinking about jobs and stuff like that. That's all like race bait stuff. But, you know, there's plenty of European immigrants that come from Canada and all different countries in Europe, and there's no issues. But the black and brown ones, there is an issue if they're from Haiti or Colombia, Venezuela, you know what I mean? So it's really a fine line. If they're definitely a gang member and that guy was not, you know, if they're definitely a gang member though, you know, you just gotta like, hey, stop that. And same thing with all this fentanyl. And that's coming in from Mexico, Canada, China, you know, all over. So it's such a fine line. I think that we just have to be careful talking about this stuff, just like abortion. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm pro-choice. A man should never tell a woman what to do with her body, but I'm also pro-life. You know what I mean? So everything is, there's a lot of gray. And I just think that we need to stop kind of talking at each other and discrediting and disrespecting one another. It's exhausting. I just wish, you know, but I'm at a point at 54 years old, like I'm not going to just let stuff slide anymore, right? Genocide's genocide, racism's racism, you know, prejudice is prejudice, sexism, sexism. So, excuse me, you know what I mean? Like that whole thing with the young Sanders kid, Shador, you know, and hating on Dion, what, because he's confident. This kid, you know, he's not broken any laws. You got a bunch of criminals in the NFL, and you got more criminals in Congress. Okay, Congress and Senate, they break more laws than the NFL and NBA. So let's calm it down and let's be a little bit more realistic, and then let's just be fair, not prejudging. All right, let's get to the astro weather for Tuesday and enjoy Monday, connect in nature, and really think about your self-worth and your values. Be introspective, but be kind to yourself. Retire from negative self-talk. Let's get to Tuesday, April 29th, Astro-Weather Week, BigEAstro. Pew. Think about it, Tuesday, the day of Mars. How you feeling this Tuesday? Well, you know, it's the day of the planet Mars, so you should work out, lift your weights. The Gemini moon, 5 degrees. I didn't expect that. Let's see, 27, 28, 29, 0, 1, 2. Yeah, that's a little bit more than I thought it would be at, but that's okay. 5 degrees, so it should finish up 6 degrees, 12 hours, East Coast. It should finish up, we're looking at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. So it should finish up at 11 degrees on the East Coast, 12 on the West Coast. So tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon, even if we go to the 12 degrees, it should be at 18 degrees. If it's not, then the moon's moving faster again. We got to pay attention to this stuff, you know. It's, you know, 1 degree for every 2 hours. 60 hours, 2.5 days in the sun. So this Gemini moon finishing up at 12 won't necessarily feel that conjunction to Jupiter. You'll feel that more tomorrow, Wednesday morning. But Tuesday is a very verbal day. Mars, right? And Leo, run your errands. Mars is still at 4 degrees. So you're going to be feeling it this week, maybe the entire week, this opposition to Pluto. Which could reveal, you know, a lot of protests and rebellion against the government. There's a big protest to protect Captain, I forgot the leader of Barbaros in Africa, because Americans and British and French, they're always trying to take the resources, the gold, the minerals from these African leaders and try to discredit them. And they've tried to kill him, assassinate him 16 times. So it's like a worldwide day, I think on the 29th or the 30th, of, you know, protests saying, leave this man alone. He has the right to protect his country and to keep their resources. You know, the colonization and the, you know, basic assassination of Gaddafi and even Saddam. It's too much, and they try to, use people and, even use people of color in our government to make it seem like what they're doing is legit and say, oh, he's doing this to his people. No, he's trying to unite African nations and protect his people. So I think, human rights, we should protect not only him, but these African countries. What has France and Belgium and England and America done to Africa is disgusting. And it needs to stop. And Europeans should stand up for it too, not just brown or black people all over the world. Okay. It's 2025. Can we just be adults and live in reality and truth and stop believing the television and the propaganda? I don't care if it's Washington Post, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Fox, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS. If they're talking, they're lying. Stop believing the BS that they feed you. Use your brain and critical thinking. Oh, everybody's so bad and America's so good. Does that really pan out to you? In your brain and your heart? I hope not. I mean, you can't be that blind faith and that falsely patriotic. Sometimes you got to even criticize your mom, okay, your parents, yourself. So let's just be honest, people. I think 2025 is the year to be an adult, get out of the cognitive dissonance programming and matrix, and be real. And somebody wrote a comment like, oh, you can't leave the matrix, you just have to be aware of it. That's the point, though. Once you are aware, then you can take the steps to remove yourself from it, and that is leaving it. Okay? When you're not participating and you are kind of a conscious observer of the matrix, that's how you leave it and do the spiritual work to not participate. Yeah, some of us, we're forced to participate for business and education and different things, but the whole thing is your consciousness and you're awakened in your third eye, then you can kind of you can maneuver and not be a part of it in that way in terms of being, blind faith or cognitive dissonance or just programming. And, so yeah, that's how you leave it. And you leave it through ascension. Excuse me. So, Venus is on its way out. So I think this may be the last day. So maybe Wednesday or Thursday, Venus will enter back into Aries and be conjunct Neptune. And that's going to become really dreamy. But Venus, Saturn, North Node, it's still like this karmic discipline and healthy boundaries, even for Tuesday. And just be mindful that you really want to initiate from your heart. Mars is running your errands, lifting your weights above the shoulders, all that stuff. So have a great Tuesday. Be intentional. Right? This Gemini moon is, early and throughout the day, you'll still feel it, but it's trining Pluto. So there's going to be a lot of information coming out about technology and health, crypto, science on Tuesday. Be ready. All right. Astro-Weather week. Let's get to Wednesday, Miraculous, April 30th, Abril. Pew. Wake up Wednesday, the day of Mercury, April 30th, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. Happy Wednesday, people. Hump day. I love that commercial. So did my wife. So the Gemini moon. So remember we said 5, and then it would finish at 11, 12, and then 6 from 12 would be 18. And look at this, it's at 20. So that clearly shows you that the moon is moving faster. Right? 12 to 12, it's 6 hours, right? So if you saw it at 5, and I told you 6 and 5 is 11, but on the West Coast it would finish at 12, and then 12 from, midnight to 12 is 6 degrees, it should be at 18. It's at 20. All right, just wanted to show you that. So it's conjunct Jupiter. Definitely aligning with your beliefs and communications. Watch this. This could bring some sensitivity around data, information, and people's beliefs and communication. So Wednesday is a lot of emails and hump day and plans and schedules. But people, there's going to be a lot of communication, a lot of expansion of information, data, and maybe even some data breaches, but also gossip, things like that. And it's going to wind up 26, 27. So again, we should be at no more than 3 or 4 degrees Cancer on Thursday. I bet you we'll be at 5. We'll see. And that's, more than 6 degrees. So, you know, it's just interesting. It should really be at for the most. But the moon will be squaring Saturn. And where's our Venus friend? Venus is still there. So let's see if Thursday on May 1st, if Venus, it must be May 1st or 2nd, Venus enters in. I haven't looked at the Astro-Weather calendar into Aries. But, it's definitely squaring the North Node and Saturn. So there's going to be a lot of debates about boundaries and immigration and this and that and rights and land. Russia had a ceasefire today because of World War II stuff. Let's see if Ukraine and they can just get something. I don't know if you're going to ever have an end to what's going on in Palestine and Gaza. Just think that they're just trying to eliminate all Palestinians. What else are you to think at this point? Because it's either they are the worst at trying to get Hamas, or they're not just trying to get Hamas, they're trying to wipe out generations. And they're killing too many innocent kids, schools, hospitals. I mean, it's too much. So let's be adults again and be honest and real. This is, clearly, just it's disgusting. So the Mars, it moved 5 degrees. This Gemini moon, not really trying anything in Libra, except for Spica. Lilith. Lilith jumps back into Libra. So what do you think about this moon trining Lilith in Libra on Wednesday? So there's something that we intuitively have to pay attention to, this information about relationships in the marketplace. All right, even about our business partnerships. So just, you could be in a line flow. So really tap into your intuition about that. And Uranus is moving. Remember, Coffee Talk is May 10th. We're going to break down Uranus in Gemini on a 7/7 portal for all 12 rising signs. So you don't want to miss that. You can pay now 2 hours, $22. And then on Friday, May 16th, I'm going to break down the 12 midheaven signs. 65 minutes, $13. So, that's what's going on with the Coffee Talks, $22 and $13. And yeah, so I just wanted to say that. I may do a third one later in the month. I've been thinking about some special topics that I've been thinking about. So I'll let you know and put out a poll question about it. But, if people will show up, then I'll do it. But I'll pick out some topics for a third end of May special Coffee Talk. And I may even make it, a discounted rate or something, we'll see. So yeah, that's it for Wednesday. Let's get to Thursday. Lungs, ears, fingers. If you're feeling sensory stuff, go for a nice walk. The weather's getting pretty good. I mean, it's 80 today in Arizona. It's 76 in New York City. Depending on where you're at, we are definitely in spring. So we should get rid of the freezing weather. But remember, we can still get a little bit of, cold and storms and stuff like that. And with this Mars opposite Pluto, yeah, and even this moon, Jupiter kind of hitting the Saturn and the North Node, more so the North Node, you just don't know. That could still bring in extreme flooding and waters, and even species up out of the sea. Let's get to May 1st, Thursday, whoever is the day of the planet Jupiter. Astro-Weather week, BigEAstro. Pew. That's right, Thursday, good people. BigEAstro. I told you it should be at 3 or 4. Let's see this Cancer moon. 5 degrees. Okay. It's twice in a row. It is moving a little faster. You know what I mean? Just a little faster. So that's interesting to note. So when I see you on Friday, I'm a stickler at this, right? I just want to 5 degrees and 0. Okay, so yeah, it's 0, 7 minutes. So it should finish up at 11 degrees East Coast, 12 on the West Coast. 12 plus 6 hours, right? 12 midnight to 12 noon, 9 a.m. Pacific. It should be Friday morning. What's 6 plus 12? 18 degrees. If it's at 20 degrees, you know something's wrong. Even if it's at 19. But we could accept 19. 20 is something going on with the moon. Now, if you remember, you watched the Astro-Weather regularly, this happened a couple months ago. So this Cancer moon now, it will finish up, like I said, at 11, 12 degrees West Coast. And that means it'll be, oh, and by the way, we are in the Taurus Virgo Decan. Okay, that happened on Wednesday, 11 degrees. And we're also in the lunar mansion with the moon, which happened on Wednesday. Very intuitive Taurus people with this Taurus Virgo Decan lunar mansion. So the second Decan is extremely nurturing Taurus, caring, but very intuitive. Okay. But they are very critical. They could be very nitpicky, persnickety, extra stubborn, critical. They want things their way. That Taurus Virgo Decan, yeah. And Venus has joined the party to Aries, yay! So Venus is in Aries, and being conjunct Neptune, this is the summer blockbusters. This is the movies. Oh, the new Marvel, this doesn't look that good. Oh, this, that. This is where May, Venus, Neptune, people are going to want to see a lot of movies, dream relationships. This is where we are going to initiate more arts, culture, entertainment, a lot of festivals. This is a powerful energy, and we have never in our lifetimes experienced Venus conjunct Neptune in Aries. So this is new. So what I want you to do is think about what it is that you want to initiate in terms of relationships, arts, culture, entertainment, even new food, ways of eating, things like that. That's, but Neptune and Venus conjunction, it can make you very idealistic about your partners. But with the Aries, it's gonna figure it out quickly. Aries will be like, are you for me or are you not? I think you are, and then, oh, you're not. It's gonna analyze things and assess things quickly, but it's very dreamy and it's super creative. This is like your dream job, your dream car, your dream relationships. Okay? Yeah, my boy Mateus had like a dream weekend. He got to go to his birthday party where he's eating Brazilian steak and lamb and sirloin, and then saw supercars. Him and his mom went to McLaren car show, and then he met like this, up and coming rapper with a clothing line named I think E. Waddy or whatever, and took a picture with him. So it was just a fun weekend for an 11-year-old. You know what I mean? And so proud of my boys. They did a lemonade stand, made $238. Jackson Mateus and their two friends, Ian and Owen, and were selling outside of their church that we go to, CCV. So really cool. But what's ghetto? Nobody was looking. A grown man, I hate to say it, a grown European man, snatched and stole a cup of lemonade from my son's hand and ran to his car. At a church, you guys. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. You do with that whatever you want to do with that, but it's just sad and disgusting. My wife didn't see him, and they were going to people, but so much love and support. These high school girls were like, "Oh my God, this is the best lemonade stand ever." They made signs. They had matching shirts. They had like edible glitter in the drinks. They made strawberry, peach, lavender, flavored lemonade. It was all organic, no, cane sugar, fresh lemons. I mean, and the flavors, it was, I was very proud of the boys. And they worked on being entrepreneurs, and my wife really directed it. And then the other boys, their mom was there too. So it's a blessed day. So the Cancer moon, a little sensitive with the emotions. That's okay. Because stop thinking of sensitivity as a bad word. It means you're in tune with your feelings. Because you feel, therefore you know. So stay in the flow. And like I said, I'll see you on Friday for a Cancer Leo moon weekend. And this Cancer moon will finish up at 12 degrees West Coast. Should be 18, the most 19, at 12 noon on Friday. If it's at 20, the moon is moving mucho rápido. Okay, but this moon also will be coming off of early in the morning as you're waking, the square to Venus and Neptune. And that's where Friday could be very interesting with the markets. Very, very interesting. And even some things with Taiwan. I was going to say Bahrain, but no. Just some interesting things. And this could do some extreme flooding, so just stay prayed up for people. There could be some flooding and earthquakes as well. Friday, okay? Late Thursday, Friday. So happy birthday, Taurus and Taurus season. This is the Astro-Weather week. Eric Taylor, BigEAstro. It is time to walk in truth and ignore the lies and the excuses. All right? BigEAstro. Got my Metro card. Salute to New York. I prefer the tokens than the Metro cards. That's just me. I'm a real New Yorker, though. It's been fun Astro-Weather. Enjoy. Hope you are not bothered or offended by my gripes, but I'm just... when you're awakened and you're grown, you just get tired of the BS. So, I'm always optimistic and positive. I'm not writing off anybody or anything. And the sun will shine tomorrow. It's going to be a great week, but it's time to walk in truth and to stop making excuses for the lies and for the bad behaviors. Okay, and I hope the NFL does punish the Falcons and fine them for the coordinator's son prank calling Shador Sanders, pretending to be the GM of the Saints and say that he was drafted. These kids work so hard in their dreams. I mean, why? What's wrong with that kid? What's wrong with his heart that he thinks that's funny and the ugliness and taking advantage of his father's position? It's a rich, entitled punk kid. And it's disgusting. This has never been done before. This draft, how he fell to the 5th round, none of this has ever happened before. I am a sports fan. Everybody is hearing about it now in the media, but some people are in the sports, so they're just like, oh yeah, Deion Sanders is braggadocious, a loud man. He's a God-fearing man who worked really hard, and he is one of the best athletes in world history. Played MLB baseball and football. You may not care about sports, but he put in the work. And he's a really good father, and his son Shiloh wasn't drafted, but he signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go Bucks! My cousin's a big Buccaneer fan, season ticket holder. My family's from Tampa, so the Bucs are like my third favorite team. The Giants are my fourth, but they drafted Cam Scatterboo, the white running back from ASU, who I love. That's my dude. And they've never had a black quarterback, so I stopped messing with the Giants. But now this year they signed two, Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, but they're only going to be there for a year. And they could have drafted Shedeur Sanders. They didn't. I didn't think they would. They drafted Jackson Dart. So we'll see what happens. But I just want to deal in truth. Stop making excuses for bad people and bad behavior. Call it out. Call out the wrongs. We've got to stop doing this as a society. Killing innocent people and acting like it's for something else that it's not. No. It's about power and greed and money. It's what it always is. Follow the money trail and you'll see the truth with everything. JFK, 9/11, everything. All right. I love you. Astro-Weather Week. I'm going to get back to some aspect videos eventually. I finished my Ceres series, Gemini and Cancer. Go watch those. Watch the podcast. And join me Tuesday, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern with Numeralytics, Queen B. She's an astronumerologist, going to break down the numerology keys, get into me as an example, but we'll do live readings for you guys. So come with your birthday information. It's going to be super fun. She's a brilliant sister. She's an upcoming author like me. I think her book may get out before mine, but that's all right. I'm going to be working on my book today. I'll see you at 2 p.m. Eastern, lunch with Eric, Moon Through the Houses. And I just hope you have a wonderful week. Stay in gratitude, connect in nature, avoid the gossip, the chit chatter, the lies and deception, and walk in truth. And even if the truth is something that you may not agree with, it's still the truth. You know what I mean? Like, don't be so stubborn or ignorant or arrogant or immature that you can't handle a truth even though you don't agree with it. Truth is truth. We got this, people. Let's evolve. Astro-Weather Week, BigEAstrology. I love you. Peace. See you Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, YouTube, episode 332. Knowledge is Love with Miss Queen B. Later. Pew.